G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flashlight Crazy. Today I am doing a comparison review on the Kizer Drop Bear and the Benchmade Bugout. Let's check them out. Alright, so here they both are. Let's check out the boxes first. So here's the Kaiser box, and inside the Kaiser box you will get a bit of a Kaiser sticker, bit of a Drop Bear sticker. It's a bit of a running joke in Australia, especially, I don't know, actually around the world, but in Australia there's, you go camping and people always say, careful of the drop bears. So you will get this kind of like scroll feeling thing, and inside you are going to be given, oh, look at this. So you're going to be given look at that. You're going to be given spare springs. So these are the springs for the clutch lock, they call it. I know that Benchmade calls it axis lock, but these Kaiser calls it a clutch lock. And you're going to be given, how many is here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 spare screws. And if we look here, 1, 2, is there one under there? 3, 4. So you're just given all these spare screws. That's really cool. I love that about anything when they give you spare accessories like that. So we'll just put that down there for a sec. You will get your what's that, microfiber cloth, just to clean the blade and clean the knife and whatever. And there's just a Kaiser kind of pamphlet, a few pictures, and just some information about, I'm guessing about the knife that you got. Or maybe it could just be, looks to me actually as though it's just more about Kaiser itself. Okay, let's see the Benchmade. So, look, I'm fairly new to knives and new to knife reviews, but even I know Benchmade, and I know of Benchmade. So, you got the Bugout, CPM S30V, and inside you do get your typical Benchmade little, what's that, little pocket bag, or little, it's like a kind of like a glasses bag, like a sunglasses bag you get, but it's for the knife. Now you get this, which is, there it is, genuine axis mechanic, and here you will get your manual, and this manual is going to basically just say that you're what class your knife is in, and I guess it's just going to tell you a bunch of other stuff about your warranty, and that you can send it back to Benchmade to have them sharpen it for free. I think you just cover shipping, but yeah, as long as you don't disassemble it yourself, then you can always call in the warranty, lifetime warranty, and you can always send it back to Benchmade to sharpen, which is cool, man. I reckon that's great. All right, so it should be fairly obvious why I wanted to do a comparison video between these two. So both of them, I mean, look, as I said, the Benchmade calls it an axis lock. The Kaiser calls it a clutch lock. But to me, they look identical. Now, not yet. I've seen a few knife reviews, and I've seen how people take apart the knives and, show the audience what's inside them and stuff. I am certainly not going to do that, because I think we will be here all night if I was going to do that, because I would have to work out how to put it back together, especially something like a clutch lock or an axis lock. I'm not very familiar with those yet, but I will be, and maybe I will start to do that. But okay, so let's talk the Benchmade first. So this is the I guess entry-level Benchmade Bugout. This thing is an amazing EDC knife. Absolutely amazing. Now, why is it so amazing? Okay, well, first of all, you've got your thumb studs, okay? Now, thumb studs make a knife like this extremely easy to open. Flick it open with your thumb, close it up, flick it open with your back finger, close it up, look. But you can also just pull down the locking mechanism and let it drop out, and then pull down the locking mechanism and let it drop back in. So It is a really, really versatile knife to open and just very, very easy. It's very lightweight. It has a drop point blade on it, which is, look, I like all different types of blades and I'm learning more about them, but drop points are kind of something I'm really, really drawn to. I think that they're just a really nice, a nice blade to use for a beginner. You've got the point so you can, stab into things and open. You've got very long cutting edge as well, so you can slice as well. So if you want to use it for food, you can. So to me, they're a very versatile blade. See if I get this Civivi Elementum, that there is your Tanto blade, and that there's got a straight edge here, and a point there. So that can be used for different things, like if you wanted to really get up close on things. But I'll cover a Tanto in another video. Just wanted to show you, a different style of blade. But so I really like drop point blades. To me, they are a very common blade, and to me, they are a very useful blade. Now, this I would also call a drop point. But if we just look at the difference here, so as you can see, it does look like the Benchmade has a slightly longer cutting edge. But as you can see here, the Benchmade's cutting edge flicks upwards in a more kind of intense angle than the Kaiser. Now, is that better or is that worse? I don't know, but that's just what I'm noticing. So I am noticing a bit more of a pronounced point on the Benchmade than I am on the Kaiser. And if we look at it this way, right up close, you will see that the Kaiser's point is more symmetrical, kind of more like that, like an arrow, whereas the Benchmade's is more straight at the top and then curved like that. So that's just one thing to notice about the differences in blades and points, depending on if you were looking for something different like that. Now, back to the Benchmade. So it does have, let's just close it up. It does have a very, very nice deep carry, low profile pocket clip, and it has a shorter pocket clip. So if we just look here, look at the difference in size of the pocket clips between the Drop Bear and the Bugout. So you've got probably an extra, I don't know, maybe finger width worth of pocket clip on the Kaiser. Now, to me, I've carried this thing around, and because of its lightweight stature, this pocket clip's perfect for it. I love it. I love the small pocket clip because it's really easy to clip in, clip out, especially in jeans. It's just amazing in jeans, right? Now, not saying that that's bad, because that's probably more secure because it has more metal to hold in your pocket, but this is a heavier knife as well. So we will cover, the weight and all that, but this is a heavier knife, and I think therefore, having a longer pocket clip is important. Now, just taking a look at both of the bodies when the knives are closed. So I am seeing that the Bugout is a little bit longer. And if we just look here, you'll be able to see that the Kaiser is definitely fatter. It looks like almost double the width, but we will check that with the calipers shortly. Back here. So, okay, let's talk steels for a second. So the entry level Bugout comes in your S30V, and let's just show that there. So S30V, and then the Drop Bear comes in your 154 cm, 154 cm. There it is. So the now what's the difference? Okay, so as far as my knowledge goes, which is very limited, guys, the 154 cm is a great entry-level steel. Now, why is it a great entry-level steel? Well, first off, it's because it's a lot easier to sharpen than S30V, certainly more easier to sharpen than 20CV, S90V, things like that. So for that reason, a beginner like myself is going to have a lot more success sharpening something like 154 cm than sharpening something like 20CV or even S30V. The 154cm also wins in fracture resistance. So it's a bit of a tougher, it doesn't have more hardness, but it's a tougher steel in that it's not going to fracture as easy as something like S30V. Now, what does S30V have over 154cm? Well, it has hardness, meaning that it's going to keep an edge better for longer. So that edge there, it's going to keep it a lot better for longer. It has better corrosion resistance, so it's not going to corrode as easy as 154cm. And all in all, it's really just a better bang for your buck steel. And it is, I would say it's probably in between, it sits in between that area of in between entry level and medium, mediocre level users of knives. So I would say things like S90V, 20CV, and again, I'm an amateur, but things like S90V, 20CV, Magna Cut, all that type of stuff is much more of a more knowledgeable person's steel than someone like myself. Someone like myself, I think S30V, 154cm, D2, those types of steels are going to be really good for someone like me because that it gives me good practice on sharpening and things like that without, destroying a beautiful blade. All right, so let's weigh these two and see how they go. So I definitely can feel already that the Drop Bear is a lot heavier. But, okay, Kizer Drop Bear, 104.14 grams. Benchmade Bugout, 53.53 grams. Wow, that's literally like half the weight of the Kaiser. Unbelievable. There is a reason why this is, one of the best EDC knives, man. It's because you just forget about it. And then you've got the Mini as well. My God, look at that Mini here. Let's just quickly see what the Mini is. Although I'll do another video comparing the Mini to the... Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that now and I should keep y'all waiting for the Mini versus... No, there's bloody millions of videos out there. I'll just do it. So what do we got? 41.44 and what was that? 53. So yeah, look, less than 10 grams lighter is the Mini, but you get a much smaller blade and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, that's for a different video. I digressed there. But now let's do a bit of a width comparison. So the Benchmade Bugout comes in at 9.68 mil. And the Kizer Drop Bear comes in at 12.84 mil. Okay, so a bit thicker, not quite double, but a bit thicker. And now let's just go the length of it closed. 101.12 mil. Length of it closed. Bit longer at 105.83 mil or 82 mil. So, look, they are quite close in dimensions, but where you're going to find the massive difference is, I believe, obviously in weight, but also in the size of the blade, the cutting edge, and the style of how the Benchmade kind of curves up more than the Kaiser. So this, to me, is going to make for a better slicing action, particularly with food and things like that. Now, let's feel the locks. So you can always loosen the pivot. So, but out of the box, the Kaiser, it does feel better. It feels looser. It just feels more, I don't know, just feels more loose, just more fluid in the way that it closes. Look at that. Not saying the Benchmade isn't, but it's just not as fluid. That's all. See, that does, get stuck, but that can be fixed with a bit of tampering with the screw here connected to the pivot there. Now, just pulling down. So sometimes Benchmades, they get caught, not caught, but they get a little bit stuck, particularly when they're new in their locks. You kind of really got to yank back. Whereas the Kaiser, oh man, it just feels so smooth, so nice. But again, you're sacrificing weight and ease of carry in the Kaiser if you want, the looser lock, which I believe is looser. It is easier to use, definitely. Now, both knives have an ability to swap the pocket clip around to this side, and neither of them can have the pocket clip going tip down, but tip up. They both are. And just another look at the pocket clips there. Now let's do a bit of a size comparison, not only between these two, but we'll get a Griptilian there. So look at that, towering over the, well, both really, but definitely towering over the Kaiser. There we've got a Paramilitary 2 there. We have a Paramilitary 3 or a Para 3 lightweight here. We have a mini Griptilian in 20 CV, one of my favorites, this one. Absolutely beautiful. And a Civivi Elementum there. So that's where they sit in the line of all these knives. I'd say they're in a pretty good spot for an EDC knife. All right, so let's shoot to final thoughts now, and we will cover prices, where to buy these two, and I guess which one I would pick. All right, see you in a sec. All right, so we've covered most or a lot of the stuff that I know how to cover anyway. One thing I forgot to cover in the main video was the scales and the difference in feel of the scales. I actually prefer the feel of the Kaiser. It's kind of got this smooth, hardened, G10-like plastic, whereas the scales on the Bugout, they are G10, they are made to be very, very, very lightweight, but I just like the feel of the Kaisers better. It feels like these ones would break a lot easier. Not saying they would, it just feels that way. So yeah, in terms of scales, I do think that for me, Kaiser wins because it just feels a lot more, feels smoother, first off, nicer on the skin, but it feels more durable. Now, the Kaiser you can buy from lightshop.com.au right now. It does come in either this black blade or you've got your satin silver finish, and that comes in at $185. So $185, that's going to get you one of these. Australian dollars, lightshop.com.au. Now, the Bugout I bought from Morocco 30. That is a Melbourne-based store, but online as well. I will link both in the description. That came in at about $280. So you are looking at $100 difference for these two. So again, you got to ask yourself, what do I want this knife for? Now, for my personal preference, I am going to go with the Bugout. Plain and simply because it is so bloody light. And the thing is, man, you put this in your jeans, you forget about it, and then when you need a knife, you realize, oh wait, I've actually got a knife in my pants. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not wearing jeans right now, right? I'm wearing trackies. But if I can just show you, so that is the Kaiser and how it sits. Very comfortable, nothing wrong with that. But it's heavier, it's got a bit of presence. Now, the Bugout is going to sit just as nice as the Kaiser, but you forget about it. It's not heavy at all. I could literally forget about it even in trackies. So the reason that I'm going to choose the Bugout is not for the steel, not for the looks, not for the Benchmade name. It is because it is so light. It's half the weight of the Kaiser. Now, Kaiser, this is a great knock-around knife. Great knock-around steel, for an amateur like me, easy to sharpen, a good practice sharpen knife, but I wouldn't EDC it as much as I would EDC the Bugout. So for me, I suppose I should put them in categories. So maybe in terms of like a good beginner's knock-around knife, the Kaiser wins, 100%. Beginner knock-around, I would recommend the Kaiser. I love this knife for that reason. I don't want to sell it for that reason because it's just a beautiful axis lock or clutch lock, I think it says. Great deep carry pocket clip. It's got a nice little spine on the top of the blade, so you can really get up, up the top there. So it's a great beginner's knife, and but I wouldn't EDC it the way I would EDC the Benchmade Bugout. That's it. All right, guys, I'm going to link both these knives in the description. Morocco 30, lightshop.com.au. I will link any discount codes that I can. And until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.